everybody. Hope all is well with you guys. I am at the charger and I said, you know what? While I'm charging this car, let me just turn on just to say hello, Reset Tuesdays. Oh my gosh, today's Tuesday. We have been focused on, aiming for the goal and completing the goal. And I just want you guys to know that so far, the new project that I took on a few weeks ago, it's coming to a head. I just want y'all to know that it's coming to a head. Everything is going good to go. But like anything you start, they give you like the upfront, this is what we're looking at, and this is what it's going to cost, and this is what, you're going to need. And you're thinking like, yeah, I can see that. I see me doing that. I can see things, coming into play, and you're thinking that that was the final amount that you will have to be paying. Sorry guys, in the background, I am at this charger and they're cutting the grass in this little area. So I apologize for any background sounds that you're hearing. Hopefully you're not hearing any sounds, but just in case you're hearing anything, they're out there doing what they're supposed to do, groom the land, and they're getting it done. Okay, so pardon the noise in the back. But going back to what I was saying, sometimes we start projects and we think it's going to just be that, and then it turns around that before they even get halfway, they're like, dun, wait a minute. So that project that I told you that's going to be this to this, it's now going to be this to this and then some. So right now I'm dealing with the then some situation when it comes to my third project my second project for this year. Last year project I completed, thank God, to God be all the glory. That went well. And for those that know what that was, I just want you all to know, thank you for your prayers. And then today I've got another phone call because I started off at the beginning of this year with one project, and then 3 days ago a second project. So when you all see me out here in the bag, just know that I have a reasoning for being in the bag. I know sometimes I come on and I probably talk a lot in regards to the gig economy and in regards to creating income, and in regards to, you all staying in the bag, and y'all probably wondering, well, what it is why is Paulette doing all this thing? Because she got dreams and she got goals and she got things that she's already having into play with the help of the good Lord. I know that I'm going to accomplish them. And this year I'm working simultaneously 2 projects all in one. So yes, I am in my bag. Yes, Paulette is focused on what it is that she wants to achieve and accomplish, and remembering that I can't do nothing without the help of the good Lord also. So definitely making sure that the balance don't exclude the main event. Okay, and the main event is having him the center of everything that I do. So most of the time when I get up in the morning and I'm doing, you all already know my schedule, I share that with you guys. I do have a morning routine where I put God first, and then I go throughout my day. And this morning I was sitting and listening to Minister Mars, when he talked about put on Christ first thing in the morning. And I just want to go back to that because I enjoy that sermon, by the way. For those that have not listened to Minister Mars sermon that he talked about putting on Christ, I just want y'all to know that you are missing out on some nuggets. He's going to start off telling everybody, make sure that you're clearing your mind, cleaning out the feces within your worship. You always let everybody know, change your attitude, change your behavior. And then he went into bringing you back to what matters, which is putting on Christ, putting on the armor of God, making sure before you leave your house that you are protected, because you never know what you're going to go into or what you're going to witness that you have to be strong for, and before you go to bed, making sure that you lay down and have him on your mind at the same time. And I just want you all to know that as easy as it may sound, to go through that routine and being consistent with it, getting a schedule where you have the routine of putting on the armor on a daily basis and a consistent basis, sometimes we all drop the ball, okay, including myself. Sometimes, I'll put on the armor, but then my prayer is so small and short because I'm already dashing to do something else instead of slowing down. It becomes a little overwhelming sometimes when you are sitting. And give me 1 second. Okay, I'm charging. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back with you guys. I have to go and unplug because we were charging. And we want other people to come in. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry. I was charging, guys, and the charger, I just finished up, so I'm gonna pull over into another parking space so we could continue talking. But like I was saying, sometimes we hear about these things like put on the armor of God, like focus on yourself and making sure that you're oiling up your own self instead of worrying and focusing on oiling up others. He also talked about in that message about the virgins. It was the 5 foolish virgins, and he talked about the ones that had their lamps and they had the oils. And he said something profound that I was just dawned on me when he said, make sure that you have enough oil in your own lamp. And sometimes negativity, you have to learn how to remove yourself from certain situations, like conversations that's being had, people that is coming around you, just sharing a whole bunch of extra stuff that right then and there, your brain can't focus on. If you can't handle distractions, okay? Right now, in the stage that everybody is in or should be in, distractions should not be a part of that. And myself as an individual and others, make sure that you're mindful to protect others' peace. Because the moment you bring something, it only need one little extra little negative here and there. Like I posted the other day and I said, we don't need to know all the story. Yes, we all have stuff going through. We all going through something. We all lost a loved one. We all have something. But isn't it awesome when we could take that to the Lord in prayer, or you share it with just maybe one to a few people that is strong enough to handle it. Not everybody on their walk can handle a bunch of negativity. I'm going to be honest with you, especially if you are focused. So be mindful, guys, when you are spreading anything or you're trying to share anything, making sure, and I'm going to go back to less criticizing, condemning, and complaining, because that's not only setting you up for success, it's setting the other individual that you are talking to also up for success. So when they see that you are being limited on what it is that you're spewing out, you're being mindful on not spreading a whole bunch of unsolicited information, what happens is that you are not only protecting your peace, you're also protecting theirs, and vice versa. And it's a win-win situation, because if I'm spilling out all positive stuff, how dare you come and tell me something negative? Like it goes both ways. It's a win-win, because one moment I start something positive and I start changing my mindset and shifting the conversation to where it should be, so everybody can win, what happens is automatically, monkey do what monkey see. It's like a reciprocation where everybody is doing the same thing. And if you feel that you're a little bit overwhelmed and too much rocks is on you from your own situation, try to limit your connections with certain individuals. You don't have to shoot everybody at the same time. Pick one person that you want to throw a pebble in, that's fine, or maybe none if possible. But my thing is, a lot of times we get around and we get into that valley of negativity and we just start spewing out things through our mouths, or saying things either online or posting up a whole bunch of rhetorics. And what happens is that you're not only disturbing yourself, you are also disturbing others with it too. So let's try not to do that. Don't be a Debbie Downer. Don't be a negative Nancy. Let's all try to uplift and upbring each other. We are still in January, guys, so we can still pull ourselves together. Being in January is a good thing, because the whole thing is you're just getting started with the year. The year is basically, we're just 20 something days away from the second month. So you still have time. You got time to pull yourself together. You have time to make sure that you can, gather all those positive thoughts and put on Christ. Putting on Christ is definitely the theme for the rest of your life, is putting him on, and not only putting him on when we need him, you put him on a daily basis, mastering yourself as well, so that way when you do need him, you already have him on, not waiting for last minute, like he mentioned in regards to the foolish virgins, where the oils, they realized they didn't have enough to burn throughout. So oil yourself up, put it on Christ, get yourself together, eliminate the negativity around you and your surroundings to the best of your ability. Sometimes our family is so negative, we got to eliminate a few of them. Probably, block a few or divert their calls into do not disturb right now, because you're focused. Most of the time, my family already know before I even start to get myself focused into whatever I'm going to do, whatever I see myself accomplishing, they already know. Paulette's going to let them know, like, hey, if you don't see me calling you 24/7, if you don't see me texting, it don't mean that I don't love you. It don't mean that I've forgotten about you. It just means that right now, the focus that I have, you become a distraction. So make sure that you're not nobody's distraction. And if you are going to give somebody a call, or if you are going to, reach out to somebody, add value. Always add value. Make sure when they hang up from you that you had added something to them to push them forward, and vice versa. When somebody calls you, don't be like, I could call somebody, I'd be like, hey girl, hey brother, what you doing? And I'm up on my 100, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, you already killed the vibe. Don't be a vibe killer. If I say, hey girl, what's going on? You should say, hey, what's up? Like, it should be giving back the energy. Now, if I called you and I give you like, hey, Debbie Downer, then all of a sudden I just ruined somebody's vibe. What if you were having a bad day at work and you just needed to hear, hey bro, what's going on with you today? Hope all is well. Just checking in. I'll talk to you on another day. Just a quick little call to say, you know what? I love you and I pray all is well with you. Sometimes that's all people need to hear. Sometimes people are drowning and we don't know they're drowning, and all they want to hear is that you see them. And most of the time we lose out on that because we're so focused on self. Ain't that horrible when you just focusing on yourself? And then when you focus on yourself, you can't think about nobody else, because remember, the world is going to revolve around you. How about you sending a text and say, hey brother, hey sister, I'm thinking about you. And that's it, period. You don't need to say no lot. You don't need to go into no whole detail. Hello, Brother Gino, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, brother. I mean, normally I will, at this point, guys, I don't even have a schedule anymore. I just jump on here whenever I see that I have a moment that I want to share. So I apologize if Paulette don't have a schedule. She is just free spirited. I jump on, I work on daily. Sometimes it don't happen on a daily basis, but it's going to be in between 8 to 12, sometime 1:30, anything after 1:30, 2 o'clock, I may not come on until the following day. Brother Gino say, I love your post too. Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. It's always great to see my brothers and sisters, and they're supporting with a little like, that's a support right there, and we appreciate it, because we all are going through on our journey, and sometimes, like I was mentioning at the beginning of this video, sometimes we're burnt out. Even Minister Mars, for those that have not listened to the new sermon that Minister Mars posted, Put on Christ. Oh my gosh, that's a great one. And he just hit a lot of situations with with individuals. You know, we all put on this facade that everything got to be perfect, everything is going the right way, and we're quick to condemn, and we're quick to criticize, we're quick to, you know, complain. And in reality, guys, don't front it. Be honest with it. Some days like yesterday, some days like today, I felt empty. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, I was like, wait a minute. You know, I'm doing all this. I'm listening to the sermons. I'm tarrying. I'm doing this, and it becomes a moment in your life where you just feel, my gosh, are you there, Lord? Are you there? Can you hear me? Like, hello. Hello, Lord. I have a sister, she always say, I know the Lord roll his eyes every morning she get up. He's like, here she come again with the same thing, the same old prayer, the same old situation, the same old problem. We all are going through. Is not perfect, okay? And I'm the first one to tell you, I am not perfect. I struggle. There's things that I struggle with. I was sharing with my sister the other day, and I said, you know, I'm still struggling with X, Y, and Z. I said, as much as I tell myself, you know what, Paulette, you know, you need to work on that. You need to work on this. And Minister Mars talked about it and put on Christ when he's like, we all still struggling. He's like, some of y'all out there still struggling with cussing. You're struggling with your pants. You're struggling with tying your head. You're struggling with wearing the right appropriate attire. You are struggling with your sandals. You are struggling. You're still having your earrings because you can't let it go. You're still wearing a chain. Well, this is not my chain, guys. This is my key. You know, I always lose my car keys, and I always got to remind myself to explain. If you all see it, this is not a bling bling, okay? There's my keys. I always put my keys down and I can't find it, okay? So my husband decided he was going to find something that I can't forget, and this is my keychain that I have to put on in order for me to get to work on time, okay? But going back to it, we all are struggling. We are not safe because you chose the truth. You're not safe. You're gonna struggle through. We're gonna be struggling all the way to the end with something. But don't come off as, oh, almighty, everything is perfect. No, it's not. Negative thoughts comes every once in a while. That's why we got to master ourselves so we can figure out how to clean out the feces within the worship. Yes, you know, negative thoughts are there. You know, negative behaviors are there. Bad behaviors are probably still creeping up on you. You know what I'm talking about? You all have a situation that you're battling, a silent situation that you are battling, that we need all of the mercies and grace of God to come in and clean us out. The other thing, I can't remember, I think it was Pastor Sermon, and he talked about when you, or Minister Mars. Guys, I just been listening. No, you know who that was? That was Williams, Minister Williams. He said, when you are going through, because his sermon that he did on SharePoint, and he talked about that sometimes we still struggling with certain things, you know, especially on guys. He was talking from a guy's perspective. You know, guys be struggling with when they see a lady, or when they, you know, you guys know how your brains work. You know, you're like, that little lust comes out every once in a while. It happens to women too, but I'm just saying, he was talking from a guy's perspective, and he was like, you're fighting it. And he said, prayer. You got to pray, and you got to love, and in due time, God will remove it from you. And I said, man, this is a powerful message, because not only did he like not motivate, but, you know, he encouraged. Is to say, yeah, you are in the truth. You're walking in the truth, or you're on your holiness walk. However, though, there's things that's not going to happen like a Pop-Tart. You know, you stick it into the little toaster and pop, all comets. It's all holy now and everything is clean out. It don't work like that. We got to be in consistent prayer. That's why Minister Mars says that we have to continuously be in therapy. And when he called therapy, that's his prayer line. He has a daily basis, 7 days a week. For those that is not connected on that Zoom call that he does in the morning time. Well, his timing, my timing is totally different, like 10 o'clock there's a prayer on in the morning for me, but it's already the day is into tomorrow for him, I guess, however that time works. And then he talks about, plug it in there. If you're not plugging in there, then he have an evening one, which I plug into on Fridays because that works for me. I don't want to say, oh, I'm going to be on there every day overzealously and I can't make it. I don't want to do that injustice to myself by saying, yeah, I'm going to get on there every day, and we're going to do this. And then you burn yourself out and then you lied. Okay. So give yourself a little extra room to grow and don't be overzealous by saying you're going to be there 24/7. And then when you can't make it, then all of a sudden you feeling defeat. Okay. So what I'll advise you guys to do, pick a day or pick two that works best for you, because it is not to say inconvenience timing for some, because some of you all got to get up at 1 a.m, 2 a.m for a 3-hour prayer. Some people, they go from, it's 4 o'clock in the morning for them, so they have better timing. For me here in Hawaii, guys, on a Friday, my time is 11 p.m. at night, midnight, close to midnight. Yes, that's the time that I get up so that I could plug in. But that works for me once a week. But I also have my own independent schedule of my prayer routines that I do on a daily basis. So just in case I fall short by not going into the bigger group, I still got my stuff going on because that's what I do consistently. And I just ask everybody, find yourself a prayer routine. Figure out what time of the day, the morning that you're going to get up to add and put God first before you even do anything of your day. You make sure you get your prayer in, you connect with God, and then you put on your armor. Minister Mara said, put on Christ, and then you could go about your day. Let me tell you, you'll be surprised of how many hiccups you can miss just by putting on Christ. Yesterday, I'm going to share this example. Oh my gosh, it's already 20 minutes. I do my normal routine, guys, get up in the morning right around 3:30. These days have been a little bit extra tired. So by 4 o'clock, 4:15, I get into my to my connection, what I do, my prayer, my devotion, right? So I go in, and that morning, first order that I received was a pickup. So I get the pickup and I'm moving about my business, guys. And all of a sudden, turning into the parking lot behind cars, be careful, by the way, when you guys going into parking spaces, that you're looking for the lights of each cars around you, because you'll be thinking they know what they're doing, or they have some sense, or cameras to see if you're coming or not. Sometimes people it's early morning, didn't have their coffee or their B12 vitamins, and they're not paying attention. So the same little narrow little road that I had to go through, there's a parking space up in there. And this person, instead of them putting on their blinkers, at least to show signs, they didn't. So the car that was in front of me that cut, let me tell you how this go, guys. The car cut in front of me to go into the parking space, didn't wait their turn. But like I say, I'm in my good spirit because I already have Christ on in the morning first thing. So my patient level is like through the roof. So the person cut in front of me. Little did I know, by them cutting in front of me, and little did they know that the car that was pulling out of the other parking space was going to just smooth them right out of the side. That big truck turned around and backed up, and the car that cut in front of me, it slapped the front of that car and spin that car around, and I was right in the back of the car cut in front of me. And I said, my God, you see how I just ducked a scenario that was going to cost me my, not only money, it was going to cost me my ride, and cost my whole day for the next couple months or weeks was going to be all messed up, because I would have had to put the car in. I won't be able to drive. I'm not going to use my other cars to do no lift in. So I said, oh my goodness, thank you, Lord. You just remove, even though I was a little bit trying to get in the flesh for a little bit, somebody cut in front of you, don't say sorry or anything, just cut in front of you to take the lick that you were about to get. If that was you would have been the one. Well, I would have been more clever not to go so close to the car. But I just saying, guys, sometimes when you are prayed up, when you're oiling your lamp and you're shining right there, the protection that you put over you, that God put over and cover you, is so much needed. Okay, it's so much needed. So don't forget to pray. Put God first. Make sure that He's the first thing that you see in the morning and you connect with in the morning, and the last thing before you go to bed. Okay, I know you're going to do your family time, but make sure before you close your eyes, because you never know, guys. We are on borrowed time, and it's sometime if you woke up today, your time wasn't up. But what happened to those that didn't wake up? Their time was up. And I still tarrying for the Holy Ghost. I ain't ready yet. I am not ready. I don't know about you, but I know me, I ain't ready yet. So because of that, guys, reset your thought process. Reset your mind. Reset the way that you're moving in your life. And I know it becomes very lonely. It becomes empty sometimes. Sometimes, some days I don't feel it. Sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, the flesh want to revert back. Sometimes you feel that way, guys. I'm not here fronting it. I'm telling you. Sometimes you feel like, boy, you remember back in the day, y'all know we used to listen to Mariah Carey and, and don't forget about, y'all know what I'm talking about. And the ones that was into rapping, you all know your favorite rappers and stuff that you were in your flesh, because you're human. You're like, man, you start when, you catch yourself bobbing to something in the past and you're like, wait a minute. The devil is a lie. You got to turn on. That's when you got to turn up the prayer list, turn up the gospel a little bit more. That's when you got to start eliminating and pausing for a little bit and be like, wait a minute, where did I pick this up? This is a bad little spirit that's coming around here. Now I don't need it in my life. Figure out how to pluck it out, guys. Sometimes you got to just chat. Maybe it was a restaurant that you attended that played something that caused you to remember. Maybe you went to a meeting and the people that you were surrounded with, you remember back in the day, okay, we used to do this, or we used to do this, or we used to do all of this together, and your flesh start being like, yeah, you missed that. Yeah. Maybe you're going to a location and you see somebody you stayed away from for the last year or 2, 10 years, and it bring back memories, because your old self will always be there. The only how we can eliminate is by creating better habits, positive habits, to eliminate the old. The flesh will always try to creep up on you, but when you start throwing that prayer, that oil of prayer over that, when you start polishing that and making sure that you are adding instead of remembering and reminiscing on where you used to be and what you're missing out on nothing. Turn from your wicked ways, clean up your feces within your worship, and keep it pushing. With that, that's all I got for y'all today. I love y'all, and I'm going to turn on my app now. I got to go make some shmoney, because y'all know when I come on here with you guys, I either have to pause and not make shmoney and come on here with you all. And because you all are number one in my little YouTube life, I'm going to pause a little bit and then I'm going to go back to it. So I'm turning on now, waiting for the other order. And I just want to say a bitty good eve to you guys. I hope all is well with you, and put on your armor of God, put on Christ, get your lamps oil up on a daily basis, mastering yourself with prayers. All right. Love y'all. Deuces. Thank y'all for joining in. See you on the next one. Bye bye, babies. I biddy goody.